Nordic Swan Ecolabel is the official environmental label in all the Nordic countries. It is initiated by the government to give people credible environmental information on a non-profit basis. The label shows how to run your service with less environmental impact, as well as guiding people towards the best green choices on the market. The United Nations made a global plan to combat inequality, protect the planet and stop climate change. The Sustainable Development Goals. The goals are quite broad and it can be difficult to see how your hotel can contribute. But by certifying with the Nordic Swan Ecolabel, you contribute to many of the goals, especially number 12, responsible consumption and production. By saving energy, use less water and less harmful chemicals, and focus on less food waste, and in many other ways, act to minimize the environmental footprint. Now, let's see what it means in practice that a hotel is certified. Here's what employees of Hotel Norge by Scandic have to say.
At Hotel Norge, we've always had a focus on the environment in our daily work, but an all-inclusive approach is quite complicated. The Swan gives us the tools to actually implement these changes on a daily basis. When we focus on this as much as we do, it's great to be able to communicate it to the world. And the Swan, being as well known as it is, makes this very easy to do.
It is a complex task to work with sustainability. The Swan shows us how to do it. Food and food waste is a big part of it and has a massive impact on the environment. This is why we work hard to reduce our food waste and use as much sustainable raw materials as possible in the kitchen every day. This leads to creative thinking on how we do it and how we run things on an everyday basis in the kitchen. In our kitchen, you will find both organic and locally produced raw materials. It is a very good feeling to walk in the restaurant and tell our guests what kind of good quality they are being served.
A hotel has many technical facilities that requires a lot of energy. The Nordic Swan Ecolabel sets strict requirements for energy consumption. Take ventilation, for example. We have installed a demand-driven system that adapts to the activity at the hotel. If there are no guests in the room, we do not need to heat it up. If the meeting room is not used, we can adjust down the air supply. In the kitchen, we cool food and drinks with CO2 cooling. It further reduces energy needs and we use greenhouse gases in a smart way. Overall, these are important climate measures and our contribution to a sustainable world.
Climate change, water pollution, loss of biodiversity, and the need for a more circular economy are just some examples of the challenge we must overcome. Procurements, professional buyings, is one of the most powerful drivers of the green shift in the economy. The Nordic Swan Ecolabel is a good tool, and with the label, procurers get trustworthy requirements. Certified goods and services is another benefit. This makes procurement much easier and more efficient.
As a large public purchaser, we recognize established and serious ecolabels and reward them with points in our tenders. The use of ecolabels is an effective tool and an important environmental measure for us. Staying in a Nordic Swan Ecolabeled hotel is something we recommend all professional companies to have as a goal in their purchasing policy. If you do that, you achieve the most environmental protection for your money and you can sleep with a good conscience.
Today, the overall production and consumption is not sustainable. Producers, retailers, consumers and procurers all have a role to play in making a change. The goal is that all human activity operates within the planetary boundaries. That goal is still quite far away, but with the Nordic Swan Ecolabel, you're part of the solution.